It's me already does it. Listen, I've just uploaded a video about two types of people you should absolutely avoid at all costs. Now, I want to add to that video, in this short video also. Have you noticed that certain people, they love to give subtle threats? Or let's say an employee would say, well, if someone talks a lot, they may have to look for another job, or if you ever say that, or if you don't speak to me in a certain way, then you may end up being in a homeless shelter or whatever. So they don't actually tell you that they're going to fire you if you don't please them, but they actually hint towards it. Or some may tell you, if you keep talking, you have no teeth anymore. What are they hinting to you? They're going to beat you up because they don't want to hear you speak. Now, subtle threats are threats. They're actions that an individual inform you they're going to take against you if you don't get along with what they want. And those actions will be harmful on you. So someone is suggesting causing harm directly or indirectly to you if they don't get what they want out of you. That is a subtle threat. It's subtle because they won't say it openly. Or they won't say directly what they're going to do. Because then you can use it against them. Now, what I've noticed is that a lot of people out there, they're so used to be threatened, they're so used to be blackmailed that they don't even realize when others are doing it to them. Listen, if there is a police officer walking around and the police officer talks a bit loud in his walkie-talkie, are people going to say, shut up, man, calm that thing down there? Are they going to act like that? No, because it's a police officer. That can backfire on them. So they know how to behave. If someone's in a courthouse, will they be very open and direct with how they feel? No, because they can be arrested for contempt of court if they have a loose mouth in court. Or if they can lose their job. They know how to behave towards their fellow colleagues. What I'm saying is that people treat you based on the options they have concerning you. If you have a high position in society, that means that if they act out in a loose way towards you, it may work out evil on them. So then they are restrained with how they behave towards you. They may talk shit behind your back, but they won't do it directly to you. If you don't have an influential role in society or in the local community, then they're more comfortable showing what they really are towards you. Because they can't expect much more to come from it. I remember one time I was walking through The Hague. I arrived at the tram station at The Hague Central Station. And there was this homeless guy. He wasn't bothering anyone. Nobody even noticed the homeless guy was there. But there were two civil servants who also would do checks in the trams. They were chasing him away as he was bothering people. I suddenly arrived, asked a question, and the same man that was actually harassing that homeless guy suddenly became very polite, saying, yes, sir, what's your question? How can I help you? And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. How come towards me you're a totally different human being than towards this homeless guy? You're not a totally different human being. You're the same human being. It's only that with me, you see that your options are different. That's why you behave differently. Look, if people are upset about something, they should be honest towards themselves they're upset, and they need to examine if them being upset is right or not. If they're upset for the wrong reason, then it's on them, they need to change. If they're upset for the right reasons, now they need to find a way to address it in a proper way. But people just become upset, and they just expecting you to have to comply or adapt because they're upset. I'm sorry, but that's not reality, and that's narcissistic. But some of you grew up with parents behaving that way, saying it's my house, so you have to deal with it. That same parent won't dare to do that at work or with other adults, but they do it towards you because they see the option to get away with it. And you grew up thinking that it's polite and that it's honorable to allow someone with a higher rank to treat you that way. So what happens when you're at work? What happens now if you get married. The same cycle of abuse continues because you think that people have the right to threaten you if it involves their interest. You think people have a right to threaten you if they have a leverage over you. Now they say this openly, you think, whoa, shit, I don't agree with that. But listen, you do because your attitude shows it. Because if you didn't agree with that, you wouldn't put up with people behaving that way. Look, and there's another thing I want you to watch out for. In the world, they have this thing called boundaries. I already explained to you, boundaries are spells people use to bind other people. Why? People want to bind you to control you. Boundaries is all about control. It's all about controlling other people so that you are at ease. I'm just calling it for what it is. So when people want to put restrictions on you, they have to justify what they're doing. They can't say, well, I don't have anything to explain to you. They can't just be upset saying, I don't like this. Or they can't just be upset and just expect you to be restricted. Look, if someone tries to sexually harass you, or if someone tries to jump on you, or if someone tries to actually violate you objectively, that's different. But if there's no actual danger involved, and people just get upset, and they give no explanation, they say it's boundaries. I'm sorry, they just want to control you. They're being narcissistic. They just want to have power over you. That's it. But we were taught that, hey, everyone has boundaries. Everyone has a right to free will, whatever. We were taught to tolerate such behavior. Listen, I don't care if you're at someone's house, or I don't care if someone has a supervisor at work. No human being is entitled to just expect things from you without any justification. And even if it's justified, their behavior must be constructive too. Come on now. But what happens? Often we don't pick up that someone just wants to control us when they come with subtle threats. Listen, they wouldn't dare to do subtle threats towards everyone, because some people, you do subtle threats towards them and they retaliate against you. You are in big trouble. See it like this. Let's say you owe someone some money and they begin to suggest unto you that if you don't pay the money that you may lose some body parts, whatever. If you go to the police with this, what's going to happen? The guy's going to be arrested. He's going to go to prison. If other people hear about it, they're going to say, hey, what the fuck's wrong with you? Just because he owes you money, you think you have right to disable them for life, whatever? What is going on with you? Will people accept that? No, absolutely not. That subtle threat will get them to prison immediately. Now, that is an extreme example. But look at this. Just because someone has a leverage over you doesn't mean they're entitled to just act any way they want and just have to take it or else. Listen. Just because someone else is uncomfortable doesn't mean they're entitled to subtly threaten you or to act out against you. I'm telling you. Listen, even in court cases, let's say someone jumped on you and just knocked them off and you moved away. That will be considered self-defense. All charges will drop against you. But if someone jumped on you and you knocked them off you and you kept beating them, from the moment you kept beating them, you didn't have to beat them. The other individual jumped on you. The other individual attacked you. But you already bounced off the attack and you already had the opportunity to leave the bad situation. The moment you don't leave the bad situation when you can, but you stay in the bad situation, you're not a participant of it. From that point on, you are a perpetrator. That's reality. That's why there's so many people going to prison and they say, hey, it was self-defense. No. If someone jumps on you or if someone escalates on you and you manage to bounce it off, either hitting them or running away, that's what you do and you're out. Nobody in the right mind would keep themselves in a bad or dangerous situation just to prove the fact that they have boundaries or that they don't take shit from anyone. Listen, this whole thing of boundaries and self-respect, all of that, unlearn that crap. If the situation is toxic or dangerous, you quietly and peacefully leave the situation. As simple as that. The moment you stay in a situation to resist or oppose the situation, you are now part of the situation. There's no defense in that. You're just fighting. And by fighting, you are a participant of the danger that goes on. And by being a participant, you're also responsible for the harm that will happen. As simple as that. So look, even in courthouses, even if someone is in the wrong, let's say in a courthouse, someone attacked another individual. Of course, the courthouse is going to prosecute that individual for attacking that individual. But if the other individual that was under attack escalates back, that individual is wrong too. And the courthouse will turn on them too. Because they will say, okay, this individual is out of his mind or out of her mind, attacking you. You should have left the situation. Here's the thing. If they were escalating subtly towards you, why did you keep yourself there just to agitate them? I mean, listen, I'm not blaming any victims over you. I'm just saying that, look, you have to have discernment. And while I'm making this short video, listen, just because you're in the wrong, or just because someone else is upset, and just because they're upset and they have a leverage over you, let's say you're wrong and they're upset about it and they have a leverage over you, that does not guarantee that they have a right to play God over you. And too many of you, if this doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. Thank God it doesn't apply to you. But too many of you are so used to subtle threats, you don't even feel and being endangered anymore when people are making them. And that's how so many of you end up in such bad and horrible situations you could have easily avoided. Nobody should feel comfortable making subtle threats onto you. The fact they feel comfortable doing it means because they see an option or opportunity to get away. So if someone ever made a subtle threat towards you, look, if it was just in a joking way and it was a bad joke, just a joke away in a bad joke, okay? But if you see something structural over and over again, or even if it's just one incident, if it's one incident that really made you feel very uncomfortable, listen, you don't have to argue, fight about it with the other individual, don't do that. But always, note it down. If it's someone with a big leverage over you making a subtle threat, hey, take it seriously, because they have a leverage over you. So they know they're able to get away doing things, or they know that if they can't get away, they're able to do harm to you in a smooth way. Look, no human being should be comfortable making subtle threats onto you. No human being. If it's dark humor, you were having fun, dark humor, fuck it, it's dark humor. But the moment it's a structural thing, or the moment it's something that people don't want to reflect on, I'm telling you, such people are unstable. They're unstable, they don't want to face things in life, they don't want to process things. And anytime they're challenged and they get uncomfortable, they just want to explode somewhere and feel better. That's the type of people you're dealing with. But they can't afford to explode on everyone. So they always want to be around people that they can at least succeed in exploding upon without having an immediate backlash. So if they perceive you as a candidate where they can explode on without immediate backlash, guess what? They're going to treat you that way. So, nobody should feel comfortable making subtle threats towards you. If they are comfortable and they did do it, that means that you need to look at yourself and see, where can I improve? Not that it's your fault, it's not your fault because it's not you, but you have to realize, okay, this individual saw an opportunity to offload on me easily. Okay, what can I improve about myself? What can I do so that in the future I don't encounter similar situations? Instead of just being upset or maybe offended by the misbehavior of the other individual, look at what you can do for yourself. Because if you get upset and offended by what the other individual did, now you become negative-minded too. And because you're negative-minded, they now have more opportunity to act out against you. Look, what do you do when subtle threats have been made? You quietly and slowly avoid such people. And, when necessary, you send decreased declarations on them to shut them down. On a spiritual level, you always take action against it. That's how you do it. That's how we should be doing it. Look, some people are poor in communication. They know how to communicate. So they may sound a bit rough towards you. In that case, you just know they're not good at communication. You can deal with that. But if they have a leverage over you somewhere, if they have a leverage over you anywhere, at a comfortable suggesting they're going to explode on you or float on you, listen, take it seriously. Do not explode on them. Do not get terrified, all of that. Quietly disengage from the individual or disengage from that situation. As simple as that. That's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ and know your worth. Be at peace.